Hello everyone, welcome to Magical Me. I'm Jamie Mendez, spiritual intuitive and oracle. We're here with my weekly Moonday Oracle Message. So for those of you who are new to my page, welcome. If this is the first time you are tuning into any of my lives, let me just say that, or give a little brief explanation of what Moonday is. So Moonday is the day of the week that we refer to as Monday. However, each day of the week actually does have a planetary connection or astrological connection. And so the day of the week, Monday, is actually associated with the moon. And the ancient name for Monday was actually Moonday. So this was a day, as we connect with the energy of the moon, very much about connecting with our intuitive natures. So doing work like divination, which is oracle card reading, and discerning any type of higher guidance was very favorable on moon days or Mondays. So I decide to use the day, Moonday, as the day that I like to join here live and give a little bit of divine guidance and wisdom or information for all of us as a collective. So this is a message of guidance using both oracle cards as well as my own intuition. And I do call forth a message again for the highest good of all concerned. So there's never anything bad that comes through, but the message is more generalized for all of us to have a better understanding as to how we can get through the energy of the week. As you know, we constantly have a lot of topsy-turvy energy that comes in, the planets and their alignments with what zodiac, with full moons, with new moons, eclipses. It tends to make us a little bit all over the place, and sometimes we really don't know what is going on. So the Moon Day really was designed to give us all a better understanding of what is going on energetically and what the higher message is for us to best get through the week. Okay, so it does help to have a little bit more of an awareness versus going into something blindly. We tend to often get caught up and swept up in things, but when you have a knowledge of what's happening, well, knowledge is power. So that helps you to better flow with the energy versus trying to flow against it. Okay, so welcome everybody. I see you all joining. Laura, welcome, sweetheart. Zana, Jillian, happy Moon Day. Shelly, happy Moon Day. Hi, Edward, welcome. Robin, Bridget, Trista, Robin, Courtney, and MJ. Welcome, everybody. Happy Moon Day, and I hope that your Moon Day is starting off to be the beginning of a wonderful week. I'm very interested to see what the message that will come out today, because the energy has been a little intense today. And as we all know, we are building up to the energy of Samhain, also known as Halloween, on October 31st. So that veil between the worlds, if you don't know what the veil between the worlds is, really briefly, I'll tell you that it is basically the unseen barrier that separates the physical world or realm from the non-physical realm. Now, it's not black and white. There are many layers to those things. So, the spiritual. But whether it be, guides or passed on family members or pets, deceased spirits, energies, maybe ones that you don't know, ancestors, there's a lot. If you want a little bit more information on that, I'm going to encourage you to go back and check a few posts down from not this past Sunday, the Sunday before I launched my live magic hour. And the topic was all about Samhain, the veil, ghosts, energies. There's a lot more information there. So go catch that replay if you have not seen that. Okay. So the energy is quite interesting, and it's going to continue to get more and more interesting. Last week's Moonday message was about mischief and play. It literally was the message of trick or treat. So it was about those energies that we cannot see. Some of them are here for us. Some of them are not here for us. Are able to really, I should say, because they're always there, but we can perceive their connection a lot stronger the closer it gets to Halloween or Samhain. So it did make for a lot more of intense and interesting, some fun, some not so fun experiences over the last week or so. So, and I know a lot of us have talked about it. Those of you who I've seen, we've bumped into each other, or you've come out to the events that myself and the oracles have had. We talked a lot about the interesting, mischievous things that were going on. So that's going to continue. So you can carry last week's message right on in through this week on top of whatever else we have going on. Okay. So, oh, who's your mama, Trista? You said your mom is watching. Hi, Amy, Bobby, Christina, Freddie, Jamie. I got some family in the house. Welcome, guys. Liz, welcome. So it has been quite an interesting week. It's just going to keep getting more and more interesting. Energetically, we have, I know I felt it today. Actually started feeling it yesterday. Yesterday was my birthday. So I did not do the magic hour, as you know, my live magic hour. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. I started feeling a little emotional energetically yesterday. And then I saw today that, I'm not an astrologist. I leave that to the professionals. I do understand a little bit. And so I understand it, especially when it affects me, because I can feel it since I am an energy sensitive. I do feel energy very strongly. As soon as something shifts planetary or astrologically, I know it before I do, because I can feel it. So my energy and my emotions kind of went whoop up to the surface between yesterday and today. And so I knew something was going on, so I did a little research. And sure enough, the moon is in the sign of Cancer. Without getting too crazy, because I want to talk about this in a second, my moon is in Cancer. So that means anybody whose moon is in the sign of Cancer, you will be affected more so than anybody. But Cancer is a very deep water sign. It's the most... I should say one of the most intuitive signs. Intuition is very strong with the sign of Cancer because it is a water sign. And water is all about that element of emotion. It is about connecting to our intuition, our divine feminine natures, whether you're a man or a woman, that doesn't matter. So it is about dealing with some emotions that are going to come up to the surface. Even if your moon is not in Cancer, you're somehow going to probably feel it one way or another. And if Cancer's in your chart anywhere, I'm sure that you will also experience it. So just a little heads up about that. And I think something or other went into retrograde. Venus went into shadow of something and retrograde or other. So I know that had something to do with a whole lot of that. Long story short, without being an astrologist, because I'm not, really what that had translated to me was a lot more of, again, moving to Halloween and Samhain. As we say, that veil gets thinner. That veil between what you can take with you, also within you. Because Halloween or Samhain, to the ancient Celtic people and some of the other ancient cultures, they associated with this being the end of the year. So as of November 1st, it was like the beginning of the new year getting ready to start. And they were going within the darkness, within the void, within and within the energy of the year, the underworld, if you will, because of the fact that it is the endings. So a lot of the things that cannot go along with you into the new year for a rebirth come springtime, this is the time where they're going to start popping up and showing themselves to you. And we talk about that a lot, but it comes up all the time because it is layers that we work with. So emotionally, layers or situations will come up to show you what you're holding on to that is still in need of release, okay? So it's a great opportunity when you are feeling emotional to ask yourself what it is that's triggering that from you. And if it is yours and you know it's yours, not just random, you have no idea why you feel the way you do and you can't put your finger on it type of thing, then it's a good idea to sit down and reflect on why you feel that way and what is it that's needing to be reevaluated, okay? So pay attention to your intuition. Cancer is all about that intuition, and I had to do that. I spent most of the day going within, reflecting, asking myself why I felt some things that I felt, and just listening to my higher voice, if you will, okay? So with that said, if it's not yours, there's no explanation. You don't understand why you feel the way that you feel. It doesn't make any rational sense to you because you were fine 1 minute and now you're not, and you just can't help this heavy, unexplainable sadness or depression or feeling that you're suddenly feeling. This is a good time then to take a step back and ask yourself, because of the high energy activity and spirit activity, this is a good time to ask yourself, do you possibly have an energy attachment? Did something kind of get suctioned into your energy field and is hanging out there and you're feeling their emotions? Empaths, clairsentients, you know what I'm talking about. Again, if you have not seen my Magic Hour live that I did, not this past Sunday, the Sunday before, it's posted on my page. Check it out. Lindsay Weand, my partner from Oracles of the Light, and I talk all about that too. So that's important to be mindful of, okay? All right, so I see some of you commenting. And you said your mother's name was Mary. Well, welcome, Mary, and thank you for tuning in with us. Thank you, MJ. Oh, Pam, your birthday was October 25th. Well, fellow Scorpio, welcome, and happy birthday to you as well. Hello, welcome, and thank you. Thank you so much, Trista. Trista says my energy has bottomed out. Well, that is your body's way of saying, listen to me. It's time to get rest. And that's what I did for the most of the day. I really did just go within. I rested up. Had a very busy last week, very busy weekend. So today was just all about me. Okay, hi Meredith. Welcome, sweetheart. You're gonna love this topic that kind of just shooting out of my mouth here. Robin says, we've been reconnecting with old friends. It's been good for me. Good for you. That's great. Thank you, Risa. Yeah, exhausting. All right, so on that note, let me take a sip of my water. A little something going on with my voice today. So I like to do announcements before I get into the Moonday message. So I'll do the Moonday message in a second. Then after that, I also do a mudra message, and we'll talk a little bit more about mudras. Before the announcements, you just keep hearing me talk about my magic hour. Yes, right? You keep hearing me talk about my magic hour. It is something new that I decided to launch. So it's in addition to Moonday. So how I have the Moonday segment every Monday, every other Sunday, or as often as the divine allows, because I am very much about free spirit. I'm very much about divine timing. So I do not like to force anything. So if I'm busy and I can't get to something on a Sunday, then I will sit that one out. You all know me, have tuned in with me by now. You know that some days Moonday gets rescheduled to Tuesdays, because I am very much about honoring my energy, honoring my body. And in this world, we do not do that enough because it's a very fast-paced world. I like to think that that is more of our divine masculine energy, where we are the ambition, the go, because that's the masculine is all about doing. But the divine feminine, which is more and more coming into balance with our divine masculines, it is about being. And so it is important to just allow ourselves to be sometimes. So every now and then, my schedule will get a little bit switched around, so I want you all to just be aware of that. But I launched the Magic Hour. This is my new live segment that I'm hoping to do every other Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And so I plan on always bringing up a topic that is very relevant or important to what might be going on at the time, just to help people get a little bit more information than what I'm able to do in a Moonday segment. It's only an hour long, but I always will have a live guest with me. Last time around, we talked about ghosts, Samhain, the veil, different things like that. And it was with my partner, Lindsay Weand, who also is a spiritual communicator like myself. And so the two of us have worked with spirit. So we talked a little bit more about that. So I'm going to do another live magic hour. This time I'm going to be joined by an astrologer. And that is Meredith Morris, who you saw pop in. She is also known as the Mermaid Trove on Facebook. So check out her page. Meredith is tuning in live right now. Meredith, if you would like to drop the link to your page, feel free to absolutely do that in the comments. Meredith is going to join me this Sunday. I believe it's November 4th, if I'm not mistaken. I think that is. Can anybody give me a... I think it is. Let me see if I can pull up my gallery or my calendar just to be sure. Yes, it is. So November 4th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be live with the Magic Hour and Meredith Morris, Mermaid Trove, who is an astrologer. She does talk a whole lot about, she gives us basically daily astro forecasts. It is incredible the amount of information. I have followed a lot of astrologers, and a lot of astrologers, you know, it's complex information. It really is. That's why I won't even pretend. It's not my area. I do as best I can with what I do know, but I leave it to the pros. So Meredith, kudos to you. But she puts it in a way that I felt was very relatable in layman's terms. It does help people. She does a daily astro forecast as to what is going on, where the moon is, what planets might be doing what. And then she does something also a little clever that I really enjoy. And she includes a crystal for the day to work with. Today's crystal was selenite. And then she also includes an essential oil to work with every day. And I thought that was really interesting too. And today's oil was bergamot. So I really like that. I love Meredith's take. I love Meredith's energy. So she's going to be joining me live to talk all about astrology, birth charts, how it is really beneficial for us all to have an understanding of our birth charts, because it really, where the planets were when we were born, we focus so much on our zodiacs, that are sun signs. You know, everybody will say, well, I'm a Scorpio and I'm a Libra and I'm a this, but you know, really, that's just your sun sign. That's the sign that the sun was in when you were born. What about where the moon was when you were born? You heard me just say my Cancer, or my moon is in Cancer. So that has a great effect. And if I didn't know that, I wouldn't understand maybe why I was so heavily influenced today. Your rising sign is probably the biggest ruler, at least I think. Meredith, I don't know if you can chime in on that, but I do think that the rising sign probably has probably a bigger even impact on you and your nature than anything else. You've got north nodes, you've got different houses. So she's going to talk a little bit about that. Remember, we only have an hour, so we'll get into what we can. But really what we're going to be talking about, yes, Meredith says we all are every sign. That's right. We have many signs in our chart, okay? But really what we are also going to be talking about is the 11-11-11 gateway, and where the planets, Meredith's going to be looking up in the sky to see where the planets are going to be at the time of the November 11th gateway. This is a pivotal energy point in our shift, in the transition that is occurring as we shift from one frequency and dimension into another, and that is continuing to happen. You know, we've been talking about this for months at this point, and if not, it's really been ongoing since 2012. So it's getting more and more intense because we are really on the brink of a massive shift. And we've been shifting. I'm just going to say that we really are. It's a gradual thing. So all of these high planetary days, like the eclipses that we had over the summer, and the full moons and the super moons, and the numerology of the days, the numbers, the energy of the numbers, like the 11-11 gateway that's coming up in 2 weeks from now, that's going to be very powerful. So I'm interested to get Meredith's take on where the planets are going to be at that time and what the outlook looks like. So we're going to do that a week in advance, so everybody has an understanding to what they can expect. However, I will also be going live with another magic hour on 11-11, which is the following week. So I will be doing 2 magic hours back to back. And that week I will be working with my other lovely partner, Karen of Oracles of the Light and Luna Light Frequencies. And we are going to be talking all about sound and the impact sound has on us and the healing abilities sound has. As you know, Karen is a sound and vibrational sound therapist. She does work with tuning forks, ancient solfeggio frequencies, and how they can assist us not only energetically, expansion-wise, but how they can assist us even with physical pain relief and alleviation of different things we have going on. So with that said, because it's 11/11/11, I already got a heads up that I will be doing a live light transmission that day. So those of you who have tuned into my light language transmissions before, you're familiar with what that is. Those of you who are not, it is another way that sound does bring forth powerful healing. So 11/11, Karen and I will be live with the Magic Hour talking about that. And also at the end, I will be delivering a light transmission. Okay, so Meredith says the rising sign is how we dawn on people. And if you don't have a big signature, let me see. Oh, of course it isn't going to let me see the rest of it, but if you can see, yeah, I don't know why Facebook does that. If you can see the rest of Meredith's comment there, she definitely has some great information there. So thank you very much for that, Meredith. And again, check out her page, Mermaid Trove, okay? Thank you, Trista. Thank you very much. Okay, with that said, events. October is done and gone besides the 31st, which is Samhain. I encourage you all to spend some time reflecting on what is not going with you into the new year, and really releasing those things that are considered part of the past or or shadowy in nature. And I hope that everybody has a safe Halloween and trick or treat with your wee ones if you're out doing that. And then November 9th is our next event for Oracles of the Light and Magical Me, and we are hosting Lori Moore, a renowned psychic medium, one of my dear friends and soul sisters. She will be local at our space. We will not be live. This will be local at our space, and she will be hosting a medium gallery. Unfortunately, this event is sold out. I shouldn't say unfortunately. Fortunately, it is sold out. However, unfortunate for those who weren't able to get a ticket. But we will be hosting her again in January or February. So a second date will be announced. If you're interested, I advise you to jump on those tickets the moment we announce them, because they do fly very quickly. So Lori Moore, very happy to have her at our space. November 16th, Friday evening, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., we are hosting a very important woman at our space. Her name is Indigo. Indigo recently wrote a book and published it about her life journey and experience with not only her own personal experiences through traveling to sacred sites like Glastonbury, like Egypt, and those ancient wisdom that kind of flowed through her and her own experiences, but also her own enlightening journey about love consciousness, and how we really all are these divine sparks playing on a stage of life, and how, it's really all about going back to that love consciousness. So her book is called a Sacred Journey of a Spark of God in Camouflage. I think I got that out. Okay. And it is available on Amazon. The event that we are hosting her is 2 days. It is going to be November 16th, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at our space. It's open to walk-ins. If you would like to attend, the event is posted so you can get more information. Books will be available for purchase and signing, and she's going to be reading a few chapters of her book, and allowing people to choose the chapters as well, so nothing like in order. If I am able to, I will also be trying to go live for those of you who are far away and would like to get a little bit of sampling her book. It is available on Amazon, but it will be there both November 16th and November 24th, which is a Saturday from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. So don't miss out on this. Indigo is a beautiful woman and soul. She's 82 years old. We celebrated our birthday together yesterday morning, and she has, just sitting with her, the amount of wisdom that just pours through her in every conversation, from the smallest thing to the biggest deal. I never leave there not being enlightened. So if you are local to our area, which is the Lehigh Valley area, or Phillipsburg, New Jersey, Wilsonboro, Pennsylvania, Easton, Pennsylvania, please come on out. Friday, November 16th, Saturday, November 24th, 2 days available for you to listen to what Indigo has to share from her own experiences in her book, talking about this divine love consciousness. And she'll be signing books, and again, they'll be available for purchase. Okay? And I think that's it for now. I think I got it all out. See what I missed here. I see what Meredith says now. She did say, the rising sign is how we dawn on people, and if you don't have a big signature in your chart surrounding your sun, a lot of time we express our rising sign more potently. Okay, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Robin says, wow, a lot to think about. Absolutely. It was a lot to get out. Hi, Laurel. Welcome. Yes, Robin. Attend if you can. I know you're pretty local to our area. You would love it. Yes, the lady with the goat. It's not her goat. It was a friend's goat when we were there. We were all visiting together for her birthday. And one of her friends came over and had a wee baby goat. His name was Oops. It was the cutest thing I've ever seen. I loved it. I need to get a baby goat in addition to my ducks, I think. Although I think I might lose a husband if I do that. I'll gain a goat, lose a husband. He's going to draw the line. All right. Hi, Heather. Welcome. So, it's the week of Halloween. I got to work with the Halloween Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. I love Stacy's decks. Great information with her. Her decks are always very unique. They're always like one of a kinds. And the artwork in her decks is always, I can tell it's a Stacy deck before I know the name, because I can tell by the artwork. It's so amazing. So, working with the Oracle, Halloween Oracle, and then I will get into the mudra. Okay? So let us get into it and see what message comes forward for the collective the week of October 29th, 2018, which, by the way, I did forget to add that today is also a very high energy day, as was yesterday. Numerically, today is a 1, 11, 11. Okay, so everybody know, a lot of people say, well, how do you get the 11? The final 11, well, 2018 does add up to 11. So I do not break down master numbers. I know some people call this the year of a 9, but for me, it's just what resonates with me, and intuitively, I connect with the 11. My birth year is also an 11, so I'm all about the 11s. But, so today is a 1, 11, 11. So a very high energy day. And if I didn't know it, once again, my own spiritual guide, Sanat Kumara, who does assist me in working with light language and light activations, did pop up today. So I won't be surprised if something comes through today during the reading or afterwards. All right. So let's see what we most need to know this week, October 29th, 2018. The lamp. And it says remembrance. Okay. Oh, is it Robin? Well, happy birthday to him. So, remembrance. This is all about leaving the light on. Okay. So give me 1 second. I'm just going to listen to what I'm receiving. Okay. I just saw a flicker in the light above me. So, if you tuned into the Magic Hour, you know all about ancestors and their return on the night of Samhain. Now, I like to say it's not just Samhain that our ancestors or deceased loved ones return. They are able to do this all the time, but the veil is pretty much non-existent the closer you get to the 31st of October. With that being said, it's the highest energy of the night or of the month. It is the peak of the thinning of the veil. After that point, the veil begins to get thicker and thicker once again. Has to do with daylight as well. But with that said, this is the night where even in Mexico, it was considered the Day of the Dead. This was when the ancestors and passed on loved ones were honored and celebrated. This past weekend, we had our Samhain event at Oracles of the Light, and we did set a place at our altar table for those in attendance for those loved ones with we honored them with a dumb supper. That was literally what it was called. Not dumb in that sense, but dumb in the sense that it was like a mock supper, where you set a place for them because you were honoring them and welcoming them back. So this week, you can expect your loved ones to be trying to connect with you in some way or another. Now, that doesn't just mean your loved ones that you've met. This could be ancestral connections that you have never met in this lifetime. So, and I don't always mean ancestors in the form of blood relatives. Ancestors can be from our previous incarnations or somewhere down the line through our incarnations that they were existing in our soul family, in our soul lineage, if that makes sense to everybody. It's very deep. But the point of it is to, these ancient, in ancient cultures, and when they honored the dead returning at this time of the year, they would put a candle in the window. Do you ever see that? To this day, there's people who still put candles in the windows, especially it's really big like around Christmas time. But if you see the light on in the window, it was like a guiding light to guide their loved ones back home in the darkness of the night, you see? Even those who are considered mediums and do intuitive work like myself, we consider ourselves a light in the darkness because that's how it's referred to. It's kind of how it's seen on the other side, that they see those that have that bright light and they know that they can come to them to connect and communicate. So it's like being, a ship at sea when you've got the lighthouse. That's what it is. So this week, we are all being encouraged to leave a light on for our loved ones, to allow them to come in and communicate and connect with us in some way or another. So that really does go into a whole big other topic, because then it's like, well, how do I know? The easiest, quickest thing, first of all, I'm going to refer you back again to my magic hour with myself and Lindsay that I did 2 weeks ago, because we talked all about that. But really quickly, for those of you who don't have that amount of time to do that, what you can do is, I like to create an ancestral altar. So I have a little small table, or if you have a mantle or a fireplace, you set out the picture of those loved ones that you want to honor. Maybe those who have passed away this year, maybe those who have passed away in recent years that you're still wanting to have some closure with. Put some pictures up of them. Put some candles up of them. If you can put candles in your windows, you can do that as well. Obviously, everyone use common sense. Be safe with open flames. But this is a way of inviting them in. Now, it's important that you set the intention that only those here for your highest good, only those souls that love you unconditionally, that wish to come back and communicate or connect with you that evening. You can do, and it's just about saying that out loud, okay? You can also call in like Archangel Michael and ask him to shield your home from any unwanted presences that aren't here for you or your family's highest good. And then listen to what pops into your mind. If one of your loved ones has been on your mind more so than usual lately, then that's them communicating with you. You won't always hear spirits or ghosts or whatever you want to refer to them as with your physical ears. They do communicate telepathically, so sometimes they send thoughts into your mind because this is how they're connecting with you. Sometimes you'll hear your own voice say something and think it's just your own mind, but really it's not your thoughts, it's your loved one's thoughts communicating with you. I've had passed on loved ones tell me that I need to tell so-and-so to stop arguing in my family. So it's listen to that thought that pops into your mind and anything. It's the song that comes onto the radio randomly that just reminds you of them. No, it's not your imagination. No, it's not you just wanting to connect with them so you are just wanting it to be them who did it. No, it is them who did it. At this time of the year, absolutely. If that's what that song made you think of, then it was their divine connection that, because as you know from that live magic hour I did, Spirit is very able to manipulate electronics and frequency, and it's how they actually most often communicate. Pay attention to your dreams if they're coming in and giving you messages. I will tell you the most important reason that your loved ones are coming back is not to tell you that there's something wrong, is not to tell you that they're holding on to something that happened, and are they still upset with you? Are they still mad at you? No. They're coming back to say, I'm here. I'm not really gone. I've just begun a different part of my life, a different part of my journey, a different way, in a different form. I've just transcended the physical, and I'm okay. And mostly that's what they're coming back. So this is really a time for celebration, to honor our deceased loved ones. So leave that light on for them, everyone, because they're here, whether you realize it or not. Take the time to connect. Take the time to release any unresolved emotions or healing that needs to occur, or wounds, I should say, that need to heal, surrounding their death as well. Because that type of pain, and I'm not saying there's a time limit on that, but it is helping you to make peace with death and the way that we perceive death in this world, okay? So I hope that makes sense to everybody. So leave the light on. This is a time for remembrance, a time for honoring. And if you don't know how beautiful Halloween really is, or Samhain for that matter, now is your time to look a little bit more into it, because it was a beautiful ancient celebration that we can bring back and integrate with the new way that we do things, okay? So all week long, I'll be sharing tips about Samhain. Definitely go back and check out that magic hour I did with Lindsay. And even on Oracles of the Light, we try to share some stuff about Samhain and what you yourself can do to honor this time. And you will be surprised at how much we all still celebrate Samhain and those ancient traditions in our modern traditions, like trick-or-treating and where that came from, like carving pumpkins and where that came from. There's a lot to it, okay? So leave the light on and connect and just let them know, I hear you, and I know that you're here. But most importantly, they hear you. All you have to do is speak. Say what needs to be said. Okay? All right, everybody. I hope that you enjoyed that message. It's obvious. It was an obvious message, but I didn't expect that to be the one that came out today. With that said, though, it just goes into what I was talking about in the beginning of the live today. Just about how high energy there is around us right now, how much more open and receptive even the most, how am I going to say this? The most muggles of people, that's a little Harry Potter plug there, the muggles are people who don't pay attention to the magical or the spiritual or the, so there's nothing wrong with that. But even those who don't pay attention to this type of stuff, they are going to feel it as well. They're going to notice something's going on here lately, because it is. So again, it's not always those that are here for us. Sometimes it's just those that may have lived in your home previous to you. Sometimes it's those who have died in the area, those who might be connected to people that think they can somehow get messages. Really just be mindful of that the energy is high, the energy is, the spirits are active, and this is a great time to start to get into that practice and ritual of clearing your own space and protecting your own space. Because especially the children, pets, anybody who is energy sensitive or empathic, you will be affected by those energies because you feel them. It's clairsentience, clear feeling. So once they come into contact with your auric field, you can absorb or kind of take on their energy and feel their emotions. So it's not necessarily yours. So you see how it really can make for some chaotic situations. So Palo Santo, sage, using that to burn the smoke throughout your home, asking for any unwanted energies to be removed that do not belong here, but allowing to hold space for those that are for you. Ancestors, if those of you who meditate, now's a great time to sit down, connect, call on those ancestors, known or unknown to you, for your highest good, and see what comes forward for you. okay? And then again, clearing your own auric field, calling in beings like Archangel Michael, the Ascended Master, White Eagle, who was a Native American shaman in his last incarnation, calling them in and asking them to shield your space, purify, remove negative energies or unwanted energies, and leave only what's here for your highest and greatest good. Then ask them to create a shield barrier. For this next week, I'm going to say you might have to do this a little more often than once, okay? So I hope that resonates with everybody and that it does help you throughout this coming week. Thank you, MJ and Meredith. Hi, Allie. Welcome all the way from Australia. Thank you for tuning in. I don't know how much of the messages or the announcements you caught. You can catch the rest of that back on replay if you need to. It will be posted after this. For now, I'm going to go ahead and move into the mudra, and so we can finish it up for the evening. So I'm working with a deck called Mudras for Awakening the Energy Body by Alison DeNicola. I like to work with mudras because they are a powerful yet simple tool that allows us to really take our power into our own hands, to take our wellness of mind, body, and spirit into our own hands. So they are ancient Tibetan hand gestures or symbols. I do believe the word mudra is Sanskrit, which is an ancient language, also considered to be an ancient light language. And so it's very powerful because the words hold vibration. And so that's what's with the light language as well. It's the vibration that comes through is what assists. Hi, Karen. Welcome. I'm just getting ready to do the mudra now. So the oracle message as well as announcements, you can catch them back on replay, okay? So mudra really is, it translates to seal. These mudras or hand gestures each connect with one of our energy centers or many energy centers. Our energy centers, also known as chakras, all kind of rule over both a physical component, so like a physical part of your body, where example, your heart rules over, your lungs, your actual physical heart, and it also rules over an emotional component. So for example, that heart then controls your ability to love and receive love. And then it also rules over a mental component, which is maybe the way that you think about love or the way that you receive or feel about love, I should say. So it does help us on not only our physical body layer, but it also helps us on our emotional body layer, our mental body layer. These are oftentimes, as a healer, where I see blockage come into us first. Something is usually first a mental block or an emotional block, and if never dealt with, it translates onto our physical body and can take the form of physical dis-ease or ailments and discomfort. So alleviating the emotional and the mental blockage that we have in our biofield or auric body, it does assist with alleviation on a physical body. So these mudras are targeting and channeling energy into physical body, emotional body, mental body, and your spiritual or light body. Now, there are many layers within those layers, but that's just to give you a bit of an understanding. So what you're doing using the mudras is you are channeling energy through breathing and these movements or these symbols into certain parts of your energy body, which then trickles down to your physical body and your light body, which does remove blockage for a better flow of prana or ki energy within your own energy body and life force energy. When our life force energy is able to flow, it does help us in all facets. When it's unable to flow, it can make us sick and cause more problems, even emotional or mental problems. So it helps with spiritual enlightenment and expansion. There is no limit. They are so intense, though, that sometimes they do come with a caution. These were used by ancient Tibetan monks, even probably predating that, and they're still very much used today in a lot of holistic healing and approaches. So I set the intention that the mudra that comes out is going to go hand in hand with what we need for the week. So whatever Moonday message came out, the mudra will assist. So do you see, it's different from me just telling you what we need to do. But then the mudra coming in allows us to literally take our hands into, and our power into our own hands, and assists us in that way. Okay? So we will go ahead and get into it. And there are chakra cards in this deck as well. So sometimes chakras come out, and that's okay because it lets us know what chakra we are really needing to pay attention to this week. So what mudra comes forward for the collective good for the week of October 29th, 2018? Ooh, here we go. It is the Matsya, am I saying this right? Matsya Mudra. Where is Angie Walters? When you need her, she always pops in for Moonday Mudras. So this is all about fluidity and allowing things to just flow. We did talk a little bit about that in the announcements prior, in the very beginning when I was sharing some experiences, the emotional and the release that's coming up, and just going with the flow and allowing kind of spirit to be our guides and our emotions and intuition to be our guides as to really what needs to be released. Because remember, there's also another component to Samhain, which is not just about the paranormal and ancestors. It's also about endings for transitioning and transformation. So that is about what needs to be released within our lives, within our emotions, within our psyche, in order for us to be able to be reborn or go through our own transformations. Humans are constant works in progress. We are always evolving. So know that we will always have something to release and change and deal with for more growth, okay? So there is no caution with this mudra, so everybody is free to use it. I'm sure when Angie Walters watches this back, she will comment with chants or mantras that go along with the mudras and any more information that is connected to this particular mudra. It assists with inner refreshment, emotional ease, and nourishment. It releases muscular contraction, supports joints and eases inflammation, cultivates emotional fluidity and calmness. I think that's very important as we do a lot of our releasing. So place your right palm, and we will do this together for anybody just tuning in for the first time. So place your right palm over your back of your left hand, okay? Both hands facing downward. So you're going to turn them like this, right? Right hand over your left palm, and then you're going to face them downwards. Okay, so obviously you're going to have to twist them, face them down. You want to hold them just outward, away from your abdomen. This is connected to your sacral chakra, which is the color of orange, so you can focus on that ambery, fiery color. And the sacral chakra is all about, it's where our inner child resides. So a lot of things that, interesting, because it's a week about embracing our inner child, that fun, that magic of Halloween. But it's also where a lot of our emotional blockage began or came in. So if you think about any emotional inner child wounds that we might still be holding on to that are ready to be released, and how those wounds that you might not even have thought about for a long time, and anything that happened or traumas at that time, are still having an impact on your life and relationships even now. So being aware of that, releasing those, does assist us in that rebirth and that, being able to move forward, okay? So hold this right out in front of your abdomen. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, and we're going to take a deep breath in. And as you release, blow the breath out of your mouth and channel the energy and breath into the area of your abdomen, your lower abdomen, I should say, I'm sorry, right below your navel, okay? Take another deep breath in. Release. Another deep breath in. Release the breath. Two more times. Deep breath in. Feel free to pull in that orange color down through the top of your head, moving all the way down into the pit of your belly. I hear the word fire belly right now. One more time, deep breath in and release. And you can state, gentle waves of ease flow through my mind and body. Gentle waves of ease flow through my mind and body. One more time. Gentle waves of ease flow through my mind and body. And so it is. And if you want to keep your eyes closed and just remain nice and relaxed, if you are open to receive, I can feel a light transmission coming through right now. You can feel the whole top of my crown pulsing, and I'm on fire. So if you would like to receive this light language transmission, I'm hearing that it is going to be for the assistance in releasing any ancestral or karmic ties that keep you bound to situations or circumstances that have happened and that continue to happen in a repetitious pattern. So this is going to assist, and I'm actually holding a piece of petrified wood right now, which is so interesting, and that is about connecting with your ancestors. So we want to keep only the positive from our ancestors and not that ancestral wounds, patterns, or karma that has trickled down through the lineage, through our and is stored within our own cellular memory and DNA that does have an impact and can affect us and block us, where patterns just continue to be repeated. So if you are open to receiving this transmission, all you have to do is state that I am open to receiving the transmission that is coming through for my highest and greatest good from Jamie and her guides, as well as the Holy Spirit. And just relax and breathe. If you are not open to receive, that's also okay, and just state I'm not open to receiving at this time, and you can either hang out till the end or thank you for being here with us. And just continue to breathe normally. Ish et iram esh enak yarat uk esh emerat unak yiram esh emet ur vak ashemet eral lat iram mat iram nak yesh emet ir vok ashemet er nat iram mak yaram mat esh met ir uk esh iram mat iram ayert urnat voronat yuk arm aish met ir vok ar yanak ir urmat esh emek ir vorot ariat onat esh Vuranakit iam vesh emit. Take a deep breath in. Allow those codes, that's light codes and sacred geometric shapes, to pulse and move through your auric field. Allow them to be absorbed, moving in through your biofield, clearing, removing, and releasing. You might want to take a breath in and out to ground and anchor your energy back down into Mother Earth. And so it is. Okay, everyone. Thank you, and thank those to my guides and the Holy Fire and the Holy Spirit that assisted in today's healing. I hope that you received everything that you need to receive as this week intensifies, and everything that you are holding on to not serving you is released. Okay, thank you all for tuning in this moon day, and I do hope that you enjoyed all of the messages that came through. Thank you, MJ. Oh, you're all very welcome. Thank you, Laura. And I will see you back here this Sunday, November 4th, with Meredith Morris, of Mermaid Trove with some astrological information on the magic hour, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and we will be talking a little bit about the 11-11-11 gateway coming up November 11th. Love, magical blessings. Have a happy Halloween and a safe Samhain.